Once you Once the petal pieces of your rose are formed and stacked up and drying, it's time to move on to this piece, which has a rose leaf and then the sepals, which are these little leaf parts that sit behind the flower. So this part is what I'm going to be using this stylus tool for. I'll be using the pointed end to mark the texture lines into the leather. So first you want to make sure that your piece is facing smooth side up, the right side of the leather up, which is the side that I'll be making the marks into. And this piece of leather has been cased, as we talked about before. It is evenly damped through still, but it has firmed up and dried enough that it's not feeling wet. And when I start doing the lines on it, I should be able to get nice clear lines that stay. If the leather is too wet, sometimes you might get a little sheen of moisture as the lines are sort of pressed into the leather, which definitely means your leather needs to sit longer. Or you might find that the tool presses in very easily, the leather is soft, but it sort of puffs up a little and you're not getting clear lines. That also means it's probably a bit too wet. So I'm going to start with the texture lines on the leaf, which you can find in the pattern. And I'm going to start with the center vein of the leaf. And I'm just eyeballing these. You can also trace them off of the pattern. It's totally fine to gently scratch them into the leather before you go, more with more pressure to make sure that everything's where you want it. You will want to use a decent amount of pressure to get nice clear lines in there. Don't press so hard that you're, snagging on the leather or that you're worried that you might break the stylus, but definitely give enough pressure that you're going to be able to see the lines and they go in nice and clear. So I've done the sides of my vein. Now I'm going to do these smaller vein lines that go along the side of the leaf, radiating out from the center. With these, you don't need them to be exactly perfectly spaced, but it does help the look of it if they can at least be fairly consistent, not, have two very far apart and two very close together. Just if they're generally consistent, it'll look good. Then with the sepals, it's basically lines that kind of radiate out from the center and sort of follow the curve of them. It's really just creating a texture that will give it a little more detail and also differentiate these pieces from the look of the very smooth flower petals. And I'm just putting them on there kind of quickly. So you can see how those lines are pretty clear in there. I can really see them when the light catches them. Now, if you want to add a little extra detail to your rose leaf, you can use scissors or a blade to cut in the serrations along the edge of the leaf. It'll make it a more accurate rose leaf, and also to cut in to sort of separate the sepals into smaller points like this. If you want to do that, it does add some extra detail, but if you don't, it still looks really good if you kind of leave it smooth like this. But I'm going to show you the forming with this one that's already been cut like that. So now that all those lines are in there and I've cut that little bit of extra detail, what I want to do is form this so that it'll have more dimension. So I'm going to start with this, again, the smooth side still facing up. You can see the lines. I'm going to start by taking the leaf and pinching along that vein line and just kind of gently pinching it so it's sort of like closing a book. And it should stay. And again, if it's just flopping out of shape, then it may be too wet. So just keep an eye on that. And then at the same time, I'm just going to go around and kind of do the same thing roughly with the sepals. I'm just kind of pinching along the center of them. Alright, and then coming back to the leaf, with my pointer fingers, I'm sort of gently holding this fold in place, and then with my thumbs, I'm going to start just a nice gentle curve of the edge of the leaf, just kind of rolling under a little bit and curving. And just kind of going from the base of the leaf to the end of it. And then once you've gotten that curve started, you can see how it's curving along that edge. You can also, go back and kind of fiddle with it and, get it curved a little bit more, make sure, you didn't miss any spots. There we go. And right now I'm kind of over forming this leaf. It's very sort of curved in right there, when the actual leaf would be a little bit flatter. But that's because in a moment I'm going to be doing a step that will flatten it out a bit. So it's always good to have more dimension than you need. So with these sepals, I can do just a little bit of the same thing, kind of curving down the edges just a tiny bit. There we go. And then I want to roll these back and under. And sometimes those little ones on the sides will kind of try to get away from you. You may find it actually easier to do it upside down, kind of roll it with your thumb. Just curl them underneath. You can always uncurl them a little bit later if they're too much. Alright, and then with the leaf, I've got my finger under this, about the center of it, and then I'm just very gently going to curve it back like this. And this is about how much I just curved it. So you can see it's not dramatic, but it definitely will flatten out and open up your leaf a little bit, and it will make it look much more natural. Once you have your piece looking like this, you're going to need another little tube. This is a cut down one from a paper towel roll. This one needs to be about an inch across. And I'm just going to center the sepals in it, press it down gently with my finger so that it's got a nice kind of curved bottom. That's what the rose will be sort of sitting in once everything is dry and the layers are put together. And then just make sure my leaf is sort of sitting there curved back nicely. And once it looks like this, you can let that dry, and when everything is dry, you'll be moving on to assembly.